The laughter echoed across the massive factory floor as 6 rusted, broken electric motors crashed onto the concrete with a deafening clang. Workers stopped what they were doing and turned to watch. Some smiled awkwardly. Others shook their heads in sympathy. Standing beside the pile was a tired single father named Marcus Hale, his worn work boots covered in dust, his shirt stained with grease from another long day of struggling to survive. Across from him stood the company's powerful CEO, a man known for his wealth, influence, and sharp tongue. What happened that afternoon was meant to humiliate Marcus in front of everyone. Instead, it became the first chapter of one of the most extraordinary success stories anyone would ever witness. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of never giving up, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs inspiration today, and subscribe to Heartbound Father Tales for more unforgettable stories that touch the heart. Marcus had never imagined life would become so difficult. 5 years earlier, he had been a skilled mechanical technician with a stable career and dreams of building a comfortable future for his family. But life changed overnight when a tragic accident took his wife, leaving him alone to raise his 7-year-old son, Owen. Suddenly, every responsibility rested on his shoulders. Every meal, every school meeting, every late-night fever, every bill that arrived in the mailbox became his burden alone. The grief never fully disappeared. Yet Marcus pushed forward because he had someone depending on him. Every morning before sunrise, he prepared breakfast for Owen, walked him to school, and headed to work. Every evening he returned exhausted, only to spend hours helping with homework, cleaning the apartment, and planning how to stretch their shrinking budget for another week. Money was always tight. Sometimes Marcus skipped meals so Owen could have enough food. Sometimes he secretly patched holes in his son's shoes because buying new ones wasn't possible. Despite everything, Marcus never complained. He carried himself with quiet dignity and worked harder than anyone around him. Unfortunately, hard work did not protect him from ridicule. The CEO of the manufacturing company where Marcus worked often looked down on lower-level employees. To him, people like Marcus were invisible. One afternoon, after a meeting about discarded machinery, the CEO decided to entertain himself at Marcus's expense. The 6 broken motors sitting in storage were considered worthless. Years of neglect had left them corroded and damaged. Repair costs exceeded their estimated value. Most experts believed they belonged in a scrapyard. In front of dozens of employees, the CEO ordered the motors delivered to Marcus and sarcastically announced that perhaps the struggling technician could find some use for them. The crowd laughed nervously. Marcus felt the sting of humiliation burn through him. He knew everyone was watching. He knew the gesture was intended as a joke. Yet instead of arguing, he simply thanked the CEO and loaded the motors into an old trailer. That night, while Owen slept on the couch beside him, Marcus examined each motor carefully under the dim light of a small garage he rented for extra work. The motors were indeed damaged. Some parts were missing entirely. Others were rusted beyond recognition. Most people saw junk. Marcus saw possibility. For weeks, he spent every free hour studying the motors. He researched old engineering designs. He visited scrap yards searching for replacement parts. He watched technical videos late into the night while fighting exhaustion. Every dollar he could spare went toward tools and materials. Progress was painfully slow. Several times he nearly gave up. Unexpected bills arrived. Owen needed school supplies. Rent increased. His truck required repairs. The pressure became overwhelming. One rainy evening, Marcus sat alone in the garage staring at the half-disassembled motors. His hands trembled from fatigue. Tears formed in his eyes as he wondered whether he was wasting precious time chasing an impossible dream. Then he looked at a photograph taped above his workbench. It showed Owen smiling during a school field trip. That smile reminded Marcus why he couldn't quit. The following morning he returned to work with renewed determination. Months passed. Little by little, the broken motors revealed something extraordinary. While rebuilding them, Marcus discovered a way to redesign their internal components, dramatically increasing efficiency while reducing manufacturing costs. It was not a small improvement. It was a breakthrough. At first, nobody cared. When Marcus attempted to share his ideas, few listened. Investors rejected him. Industry professionals dismissed him. Some people even laughed at the thought that a struggling technician working from a tiny garage could develop technology superior to billion-dollar corporations. Still, Marcus continued. After work, after dinner, after helping Owen with homework, he returned to the garage. Night after night. Week after week. Year after year. Eventually, he completed a functioning prototype. The results were astonishing. The redesigned motor consumed significantly less energy while producing stronger performance than many competing models. Small businesses began showing interest. Then local manufacturers noticed. Then larger companies started asking questions. The first orders were modest. Marcus reinvested every dollar back into production. Soon his garage became too small. He rented a warehouse. Then another. Then another. The company he founded, Hale Dynamics, began attracting talented engineers who believed in his vision. Unlike many corporate leaders, Marcus treated employees with respect. He remembered what it felt like to struggle. He remembered being ignored. As a result, his company culture became something rare. Workers felt valued. Ideas were welcomed. Innovation flourished. Within a few years, Hale Dynamics expanded nationwide. The revolutionary motor technology transformed industries ranging from transportation to renewable energy. Demand exploded beyond expectations. Investors who once rejected Marcus now competed for opportunities to partner with him. Media outlets published articles celebrating the remarkable rise of the single father who turned discarded machinery into groundbreaking technology. The world was finally paying attention. Meanwhile, Owen was growing up. The little boy who once watched his father work late into the night now understood the sacrifices behind every success. He remembered the tiny apartment. He remembered the patched shoes. He remembered evenings when they shared simple meals because money was scarce. Most importantly, he remembered how his father never stopped believing. One afternoon, many years after receiving the 6 broken motors, Marcus stood on the stage of a global technology conference. Thousands of people filled the auditorium. Behind him appeared a giant screen displaying a single image. The 6 rusted motors. The audience fell silent. Marcus explained how those discarded machines had changed his life. Not because they were valuable, but because they forced him to see opportunity where others saw failure. As he spoke, many listeners wiped tears from their eyes. The story spread across the world. Students studied it. Entrepreneurs shared it. Parents drew strength from it. Eventually, Hale Dynamics reached a valuation of more than $500 million. Yet Marcus remained remarkably humble. He still visited schools. He still mentored young inventors. He still spent time with employees on factory floors. He never forgot where he came from. Then came an unexpected moment. At a business event, Marcus encountered the same CEO who had mocked him years earlier. Time had changed many things. The CEO's company had struggled. Several divisions had been sold. His influence had diminished considerably. For a moment, the room felt frozen. Many expected Marcus to seek revenge or deliver a humiliating response. Instead, he extended a hand. There was no anger. No bitterness. No desire to embarrass anyone. Marcus simply smiled. Because success had taught him something important. The greatest victory is not proving others wrong. It is refusing to become like those who doubted you. Years later, When journalists asked Marcus about the secret behind his extraordinary journey, he never spoke first about innovation, technology, or business strategies. He spoke about hope. He spoke about perseverance. He spoke about a little boy who depended on him. And he spoke about 6 broken motors that everyone else considered worthless. Special request: comment below with the words, "Never give up," if you believe that even life's biggest setbacks can become the foundation for future success. As the sun set behind the headquarters of Hale Dynamics one evening, Marcus stood beside Owen, now a successful engineer himself. Together they watched employees leave work, laughing and heading home to their families. The company was worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but the greatest reward wasn't the money. It was knowing that every hardship, every sleepless night, every sacrifice had helped create a better future for countless people. And if this story touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you to keep believing in yourself during difficult times, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to Heartbound Father Tales. Your support helps these inspiring stories reach people who may need hope today. Because sometimes the things the world throws away become the very things that change the world forever.